My name is Cameron Harris. I'm American and my job title is mathematics teacher. What brought me to Saudi Arabia was the adventure of it all. And so as a teacher, I've been looking to teach internationally. In fact, at the last school that I worked at, many of the teachers that I worked with had taught internationally. And every time I spoke to them about the experiences that they had working in all these exotic places all over the world, they always told me these wonderful stories of the people they had met and the students they had worked with and the experiences they'd had. And so I thought to myself, why not? And so I started looking for teaching jobs internationally. And out of all the places in the world, I took a job in Saudi Arabia, and I'm so glad that I did. The experience has been amazing so far. My day-to-day life here is very fulfilling. I've met wonderful people. Most of the people that I interacted with when I first moved here were my colleagues and coworkers. Naturally, those were just the easiest people to meet and interact with. But as I've lived here now for a few years, I've started to meet more Saudis, more locals, and that's been a really great insight into the culture and the country itself. I find that Saudi Arabia offers a lot of the hobbies and interests that I'm personally into. And one of my main things is I love the outdoors. And Saudi Arabia has wonderful outdoors, especially if you like the desert, of course. But it's a lot more varied than people think. Especially on the western part of the country, they have beautiful mountain ranges. There's parts of the country that are extremely green, that it gets rain. And so all of these varied landscapes are really, really interesting to explore. One of the things that we love to do with our friends is go camping. And so in the winter time, many times you'll find us out camping underneath the beautiful stars with a campfire, enjoying the peace and quiet. And so that's something that we really enjoy to do. Another thing that we really enjoy is scuba diving, and Saudi Arabia has some of the most wonderful scuba diving. We dive here on the Arabian Gulf side of the country in the eastern province, and there's good diving here, but some of the best diving in the country can be found in the Red Sea. And so diving from places like Luj and Yanbu and even Jeddah, you can find amazing scuba diving. We find that the scuba diving is so unspoiled that there's just not so many people that scuba dive here, and so what you're seeing is real untouched beauty, real authentic beauty, and we've had an amazing time scuba diving. Another thing that we're really interested in is rock climbing. And so rock climbing is something that I've been doing for almost my entire adult life. And it's something I'm really passionate about. It's quite adventurous, and I enjoy the thrill of it. And it's also just a great community. And one of the things that we love about living here, my friends and I, is the sport is a new sport for this country. And so just recently, it's gone from just a couple of people here and there that have been exploring some of the mountains and the rocks to climb, to a real thriving and growing community of people that are getting into the sport and enjoying it. In fact, just this past weekend, my friends and I participated in a rock climbing competition that was held at one of the local rock climbing gyms. And so this rock climbing has taken us all over the country to places like Al Harik and Taif and Tanoma, just some wonderful places that we've had the chance to explore with beautiful mountains, amazing scenery, and so that's just been a great experience for us. Moving to Saudi Arabia, I knew that I wanted to explore the entire country. I realized that I didn't want to just be stuck in one part of the country and just see a very limited view of what that area was like. And so we took the opportunity, my friends and I took the opportunity during the pandemic when the borders were closed to really just get out and explore what we could find in this country. One of the trips that we did was, in fact, right at the beginning of the pandemic, was a huge road trip. And so we loaded up our cars with all of our camping gear and all of our supplies, and from the Eastern Province we headed west. And so we started in Riyadh. Of course, you have to visit the capital city of the country that you're living in. And then from there we went north to Hale and did some camping there. Of course, we had to stop in Aoula, which is one of my favorite places in the country by far. And we just loved that experience there. So from Aoula, we headed north to Tabuk, and that was quite a nice experience. Tabuk is a very interesting city that's got quite a few historical sites, and so that was a great experience for us to get more insight into the country and the history of the country. From there, we headed south to Umluj, where we did some scuba diving. We saw so many amazing wildlife creatures in the water. We saw sharks and turtles and pufferfish and all sorts of amazing creatures under the water. Then from there, we traveled down to Yanbu, which is a small seaside community where we ate fresh fish and just had a great time exploring there. Then down to Jeddah, and then from Jeddah, we headed all the way back to the Eastern Province, and that was just an amazing experience, and just one of the great trips that we've taken around the country. So the road trip that we took about 10 days, and we were just traveling from city to city. Sometimes we were camping in the different places that we were, and sometimes we were sleeping in hotels along the way. Every once in a while it was nice to have a shower, and that was just a great experience. In fact, one of my all-time favorite experiences of my whole experience here in Saudi Arabia happened during that trip. One of the places that we visited on our road trip was just outside of Aoula. We were on our way to Tabuk, and we needed to find a place to camp. And so we pulled off the road into the desert and drove a long way down a sandy trail into a beautiful valley that was surrounded on all sides by mountains. And it was absolutely breathtaking, just gorgeous. And so we made our camp and pitched our tents, and we were relaxing and enjoying the scenery. And then in the distance, we see a vehicle driving very, very fast towards us. And we thought, oh no, we must be on some private property. Maybe somebody wants us to leave. Maybe we're not supposed to be here. Maybe they're going to tell us that we need to leave. And so we were very worried about that. We were concerned that this person might be angry with us. So we saw this car approaching from the distance, and it was traveling very, very quickly towards us. And we were at first a bit concerned because we thought maybe that this person might be angry with us and might ask us to leave. But when the man arrived, it was quite the opposite of what we thought. It was his land, and his father owned was there with his cattle and his goats, and he was quite welcoming to us and asked us if we needed food and if we needed water, and just wanted to host us. And we said, "That's very kind of you. We have food and water. Thank you so much." And he said, "1 minute, I'll be right back." And then off he drives into the desert. About a half an hour later, he drives back and he says, "I have a gift for you." And we said, "Oh my goodness, what could it be?" And he opened up the door of his car, and in the seat of his car was a goat. And the man was going to give as a gift this goat. And we told him, "That is so nice of you. We don't have any way to prepare this or cook this. We don't even have a fire." He said, "No problem, I'll take care of everything." And so the man came back with the goat, which he had butchered. He came back with fruits and vegetables and everything that he needed to make dinner. He built a fire for us. He proceeded to make a goat stew with the different vegetables and things that he had brought, cooked everything on the open campfire, and that night he cooked us dinner. And we thought, wow, how amazing is that we thought he might be angry with us, he might want us to leave, and instead he actually cooked dinner for us and gave us this amazing gift of this goat. So that was just such a great experience, and it really speaks to how hospitable the Saudis are, and how welcoming they are, and how generous they are. Well, I love trying food of all different types, and variety is best for me. Usually if I'm offered a choice between something that I've had before or some brand new food, I will always try the new food because I just love the variety of that. Speaking of the Saudi food, something just small that I think is a real unique experience here. I'm always, everywhere I go, I'm always offered a little bit of Saudi coffee and a date. And this is one of my favorite things. And especially when I'm visiting a new part of the country and people want to welcome me to their part of the country and they want to show me hospitality, they will always offer me the delicious coffee and a date. And I just find those flavors to be so delicious, and I always happily accept when they offer this. But speaking of some of the more savory dishes, of course kabsa is one of our favorites, and love eating that. And something that's unique about the eating experience, especially for Americans, is we're used to sitting at tables and chairs when we eat. And so many of the restaurants that we've been to, we've had the fun experience of sitting on the floor and eating the food, and that's been an amazing experience. Of course, if you like to sit in a table or chair, that's always an option, but we think it's part of the unique and fun experience to sit on the floor and eat, and it's really fun. So I'll tell you about a typical today. Today was a great example of that. So when I got home from work, I took the nice easy commute back to my house, arrived back at my house and just relaxed for a little bit. After a long day of work, it's nice to just sit on the couch and just relax. I decided to give one of my coworkers a call and find out if they were available to spend some time that evening. And so I made a phone call and we were able to connect and decided that we made a plan to go to the Al Nakheel Mall. And so we made a plan to meet up later that night, and from there I had something to eat and just relaxed until it was time to go out to the mall. Hey, Ashley, how are you? Yeah, I was wondering if you wanted to go out and grab some tea later tonight. Yeah, the Al Nakheel Mall. I hear they've got go-karts and laser tag, and maybe we can have some tea and then go catch a movie. What do you think? My favorite activities are definitely the outdoor activities that I do, but sometimes the weather is just not cooperating and you need to go inside to have your adventure. So the first adventure that my two colleagues and I had was we went to the mall and we found go-kart racing. And this was amazing because I love going fast. And so we got in the go-karts and they gave us the racing jumpsuits that we wore. They gave us our racing helmets, which were amazing. So we had all the gear and we were feeling ready to go. And as soon as they gave us that green light, so I put my foot on the gas and I was out of there. And so we raced around the track several times, trying not to crash into each other, but it was really a whole lot of fun, and so we had a great experience. After we finished with the karting, we decided to head over and try laser tag. And this was a lot of fun. In fact, with the two colleagues that I was with, earlier, maybe a month or two ago, we had gone to a place to try paintball. And so that was our first experience at shooting each other. And so laser tag was great. We had the red team against the green team, and we were running around in the dark, trying to find the other team and see if we can score points for our team. And we only had 3 players on our team and they had 4 players on their team. So we felt a little bit outnumbered, and so they ended up scoring more points than us. But it was still a great experience and we'll definitely do it again. After we finished laser tag, we decided to go to the next fun location, which was the anti-gravity ride. And this was quite the experience. So we got into this large cylindrical ride, and they told us to put our backs flat up against the wall and to not move. And then when the ride started, it started spinning around slowly at first, getting faster and faster and faster. And it started going so fast that we were getting squeezed and pressed up against the wall. And then, to our surprise, the floor of the ride started to drop down. And it lowered completely down, and our feet were just dangling in the air. And we were just glued to the side of this ride as it was spinning around, spinning around, spinning around. And so we went like that for a while, and that was very, very fun, very high energy, and our adrenaline was pumping. And so we really enjoyed that as well. After those 3 thrilling adventures, we decided it was time for us to relax a little bit. And so we headed over to the cinema, grabbed a bucket of popcorn and headed in and just relaxed in the movie theater. Watched a movie, relaxed, had some good popcorn, and that was great. If and when, and that's a big if, I go back home because I've really, really enjoyed my time here in Saudi Arabia, and I can see myself staying here for a long time. But if I do decide to leave, something that I'll miss will definitely be the people. The people of a place are what make it really, really special. And I feel the Saudi people are some of the most amazing, special people that I've met. They're just so warm and inviting, and I think that that's just what really makes this place special. So that's definitely what I'll miss the most.
like these, closer and closer to every memory, trying to grasp for the things that aren't real, ripping out my mind because it's too much to feel. All my life I'm falling to you. I'm holding on to seraphim bliss. I'm holding on with every single kiss. I'm holding on to.
Hey guys, here I am after 4 years still in Saudi Arabia, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm safe, everything is great. I've been having a wonderful experience, and I really can't wait for you guys all to come and visit me as soon as you can.